Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Our guests today are Khris and Erin. Khris and Erin are both 6-year cancer survivors who have benefited from the generous and uplifting services of Hello Gorgeous. Khris and Erin are mother and daughter. Khris has been a licensed and certified speech language pathologist for almost 40 years, with a primary focus on advocacy for children and their needs and their families. She has worked as the director of the Open Door programs for at-risk children and families and an adjunct professor at IUSB, and as an SLP in hospitals, clinics, private practice, extended care facilities, and most recently in the South Bend Community School public schools. Erin was also diagnosed with cancer in 2013, is a licensed professional counselor and mental performance coach specializing in sport and health psychology. She currently works as a counselor in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Both ladies believe in strength of the human spirit and the power of humor and the importance of family and friends. With both of them being in the service industry with a focus on advocating for others, they found it difficult, both of them, to suddenly be in the need of support and assistance from others. And in 2013, they faced many challenges. But I'm happy to say that they're both with me today. So hi, Khris. Hi, Erin, and welcome to the show.
Hi,
hello.
Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited. I think that you girls were like the first double makeover that we ever did with Hello Gorgeous. I don't know that we did one prior to that. So that will always be very special to me. So thank you for being here and for sharing your story with me.
More than happy to. We loved the experience.
So, Khris, I'm going to start with you. So tell me about your cancer diagnosis. Like, how did you find your cancer?
Okay, well, I had had a mammogram in September, and everything was fine. And then at the end of November, I had found a lump myself. And then I went in, of course, and had all the tests, and I found out that it was a fast-growing cancer. Triple negative.
Yeah. Oh, was it triple negative? And so what kind of treatments did you have to go through?
You know, you kind of get put in a whirlwind right away. So there's, you have your ultrasounds and your MRIs and your PET scans, and your life kind of suddenly becomes not your own for a short time. But they decided to do the chemotherapy first and then surgery later. So started out with chemotherapy, which my sister, who is fabulous, went to every appointment with me. And, I started that and thought, this isn't so bad. They give you warm blankets. They give you cookies. They give you Benadryl to put you to sleep. So, I didn't find it to be terrible. The side effects are what, kind of got you. And then I had surgery that summer. Of course, in between when all the other things started to happen, but I had surgery that summer. And then actually I got bit by a spider by my incision and got a pretty bad infection. So I had to have a second surgery. And had to have my I had to have my implants changed and different things. I don't know. There was a lot going on.
Wow. And so Erin, so Khris, were you diagnosed with cancer first and then Erin?
Right. My diagnosis actually came in January of 2013. And then Erin, I believe, was March. Yeah.
So Erin, tell me about your cancer diagnosis and how did you find out that you had cancer?
So mine, I actually was just feeling really tired. I didn't, which I thought was normal because I was working a lot. But then I was like waking up and I would find like large bruises on my legs, like the size of like a baseball or softball. Um, and they wouldn't be there the night before, and I just wake up with them. And then I also was finding like blood blisters on my tongue, and I actually just WebMD'd it. And I was like, should I go and check this out, or will it go away? And everything I read was like, you need to go to a doctor. So I went to the doctor, and I actually didn't have a primary care at the time, so I went to an urgent care. And they took some blood tests, and like the next day at work, I got a call, and they were like, you need to go to the hospital right now, pack a bag, you're going to be there for a while. And I didn't really know anything until I got to the hospital, and then they told me that I had leukemia.
Wow. And so how long did you end up being in the hospital?
3 months.
And so your treatments were very, 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 they were severe then. So what kind, did they just do chemo for you as well?
Yeah, I did 3 different types of chemo. I had chemo pill. They gave me a chemo shot, and then I was on an IV of chemo it was like a 24/7 chemo.
Wow. And so what was it like to have to call your mom and tell her, knowing what she was going through, that you had your own battle going on?
Well, both my parents came to the hospital and were there when I found out. So, I mean, we're all just speechless. Like, what? How does this happen? It was just so unreal.
I can't even. And you were down in Indiana. Were you in school at the time? Were you in college when this was all going on?
No, this was right after college, but I was in Indianapolis at the time.
Okay. And Khris, so you're in the throes of your breast cancer. Your daughter now has been diagnosed with leukemia. And what did you do to try and take care of yourself during that time, as well as trying to take care of your daughter?
Well, when your child gets something like that, you don't think as much about yourself. In fact, I was still working, and I didn't stop working at all. I didn't cut back. So I would work during the week, and then I would have my chemo on one week, and then I wouldn't go see her that week. But then the next week, when I was off my chemo, I would go down and stay with her in the hospital for the weekend, and stay at her place. And her dad happened to live down there, so he would be at the hospital every day. And she had a friend that would come up from Louisville and stay with her. And I don't know, we had a nice support system, but we just kind of managed it that way. It was, our dog got diagnosed with cancer during all of this too. And so I was running him to Purdue to the animal hospital, which has ended up to be something that they could not take care of. He came home with us, and it turned out he was blind by the time we got him home. But it was and I think I had said that, I had a friend in January when I found out. I was at the cancer center for one of my treatments, and I got the phone call that one of my closest friends in college had committed suicide. So It was, I sat down on the floor one day and I said, Lucifer, you do not belong in my house, and you need to go find another place to go.
Right, no kidding.
It was time to get out of here.
And so what kind, did you come up with like some sort of a mantra? I'm just sitting here. I can't even imagine. So was there a mantra or something that you kept telling yourself every day as you went through these days with everything that you had going on? Like, how did you continue to keep yourself up during that time?
We have always been about being positive and about humor and laughter. I had one friend that sent me a humorous card every week. I had people call. I mean, we both had people calling us and sending us gifts and visiting and wanting to do so much. Um, and then that was part of the reason I even kept working, because I work with children and they're just naturally uplifting, and I had I had to tell the staff that I worked with because I had the physical changes, but we chose not to tell the children and their families because I didn't think they would notice. That one day, one of the little girls did say, "Your hair doesn't move normal."
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
That's right, exactly. And I don't know. Erin and I both. I mean, when she was in the hospital, she felt so bad that she didn't wear wigs or makeup or anything, which I have always admired people that could do that. But then, as soon as she felt better, she got blonde wigs, red wigs. She really went to town and had fun with it. And we both were trying to, like, before we go to work, we were both trying to do false eyelashes. Did the I Love Lucy thing where they'd fly halfway up. Yeah, I even bought a pair of eyebrows, but that was a little too Groucho Marx. They just were not working for it. But it was quite the experience at the time. But really, we got our energy and our confidence from the people around us. And
that makes all the difference in the world. Yeah,
absolutely.
That makes all the difference in the world. So, Erin, you were so young. You were 22 or 23 when you were diagnosed?
I was 23.
23. And so what did you have to, so you're in the throes of cancer treatment. You're watching your mom go through breast cancer yourself. You're supposed to be starting on your journey of either your, master's degree or, getting a job. And here you are having to deal with what's life thrown at you. What did you have to tell yourself every day just to make sure that you got yourself up out of bed and continued to live the life that you needed to live?
I actually, I would tell myself, take deep breath, push forward. That's what I would tell myself every single day, just to get through it.
And that's all you can do, right? Sometimes you can't look back and you can't look too far forward. You just have to do what you can do right now. Like at this very minute, what can I do? Well, I can take a shower, or I can get myself dressed today. So in every single step that you take, it really does. It moves you closer to the end, which is what you needed to do. That's where you needed to be. So you girls, as I said earlier, were like the first double makeovers that we ever did. So Khris, tell me about your day, the day that you had your makeover. Like, what did they tell you? How did they get you to the salon? And what did you think once you got there?
I think it was my younger sister that had nominated us for that. And she had just said, we need to take you someplace. So just get up and get dressed, and we're not going to tell you anything. Just be ready. So, we had some trouble with the scheduling of it. She kept trying to surprise us and trying to find a time. But with Erin and I and our treatments and our schedules and things, we were having trouble finding time for both of us to be together. But Erin, finally was going to be home for a weekend, and Erin was like, "What are we doing?" So they got us in the car and brought us, and of course there everyone was with flowers and candy and clothes, and of course my first thought when I walk in the door, besides I just had to hug my daughter because it just made me so happy and brought me to tears. But I thought, oh no, my feet I don't have toenails and I don't have skin. And I thought, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to show my feet.
And we didn't care. It didn't matter. It didn't matter to us.
That is exactly they were so fabulous, and that is what they said, and they did. They were just so kind and gentle, and oh, it was so wonderful. Yeah.
And Erin, did you know? So